Hello everyone, I hope you guys can hear me and see me okay. Man, this is like a hurdle to get everything done today. I tried 3 times with one software and then another one. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So on CJ Trade, if you guys know, last week I did do on-demand training videos, so I did put that together. That's for people that have pretty much like zero knowledge in the stock market. I wanted to start from ground zero for people. So there's a lot of terminology and basic charting, and it is set up so that if you want to get into trading, this is the great place to go, and I'll be adding to it. So I'll do a little bit more of the charting, talking more about trading strategies. Thanks, Bat Scientists. Can you hear me and see me okay? And then also what's going to be going hand in hand with that, which is pretty cool, is a new trading room that I'm going to be working in. Coming in August, I'll be working with the team at thestockwhisperer.com. Stephanie Kammerman is going to be having some of the traders from the Java Pit running the training pit, which will be basically a place for newbie traders to be able to learn from ground zero, hands-on, day-to-day, ask any questions. It's a very supportive atmosphere to help people get off on the right foot. Also, we are 3 weeks away from the Modern Trader Summit here in Montreal, and I recognize that not everybody can be here in person, so I did make it live streaming as well, because I know as a mom of 2, I can't always necessarily travel somewhere to go to an event like these, or devote an entire day to it. So there is live streaming. If you are unable to be there for the entire day, it will be available on demand for the next 3 months so that you will be able to watch it on demand if you miss anything in person. So let's go ahead and get into the watch list for the week. So I've got it right up here on the left, and you can see I've got CTHR. Oh, but first let's do the analysis of the SPY and the indexes overall. So I did draw this downward channel right here, and you can see we pretty much are right in the middle of it. If you draw this trend line at the tops, top here, and then finally down here as well. So you can see that we potentially have $5 to the upside and $5 to the downside. We are far away from the 4 EMA and the 8 EMA, which are hovering right now 278.11 for the 4 and 280.25 for the 8. So we might have a bounce up $5 before we have a further sell-off, or we could drop down further $5 before we come back to this sort of midline, which is pretty cool to see that midline holding. And if we look at the other indexes, they're all pretty much doing the same thing. We've all pretty much broken the 50 SMA, and we're down to the 200. So that's looking like it's in a phase where people might want to take money out. If they don't know how to short. The Russell looks like it looked good back here. We had the golden cross to the upside, where we had the 50 crossing above the 200 simple moving average. And now it looks like it might be doing the opposite and coming back down. So sort of a consolidation and then run down. But we shall see. Honestly, we are in an area where we've got China and Mexico now with the trade talks, and that could really affect everything in the market. We have the big bubble of business debt. We have big auto loan debt. There's a lot of things that could create more of a correction. However, at the same time, if there were to be a potential trade deal with China, that might do something crazy and cause us to have a massive upswing. So anything is possible with the market, but at the present time, I'm feeling a bit more bearish, seeing that we are holding this downward trend on the daily chart. So we will go ahead, like I said, we'll go ahead and get into CHTR here. I'll just slide this over so I have that to click on. So for CTHR, I keep doing that. CTHR, so it has support of 237 and a resistance of 248. It's been breaking out on the year, so there are alpha stocks that can be breaking out while the rest of the market is dropping. So it's great to go ahead and be able to find those, especially if you're only limited to trading long. So CTHR is a potential one. It does have 18.4 million in the float, and it was 44.19% short float volume on Friday. Next on the potential long list is GFI. So GFI has support of 444 and a resistance of 455. When we look back at the 5-year chart, you can see that we have had this prior resistance before. So if we do break that, it looks like potential test up here to 470 area, and then on up to $5, then on up to 550. We could break the 550 mark. Now, GFI has 722 million in the float, and it was 30% short float volume on Friday. Next potential long is COO. So COO, another one hitting 52-week highs with the market curling down. So I would look for potential support of 294.21. You can see it was resistance back here, tested it, broke down, and then broke out above for a resistance of 297.91 to the upside. Now, COO does have 48.97 million in the float, and it was 67% short float volume on Friday. A higher price stock, however, it still is lower float overall. Another one like that is CMG. CMG is a low float stock, so you can see the big range movements throughout the day, like these days right here, 700 down to almost 675. So looking at, low floats can be all different price ranges. So COO is one to keep on watch. If we can break above that 300 level, it might really go ahead and escalate fairly high. Next one on the potential long list is Wsm Williams-Sonoma. Now, when we look at it, you can see it had the support back here, 56.99, and resistance of 58.73. They did have earnings over here on Thursday, and then Friday morning really surged up. So go ahead and keep this one on watch. It does have 77.6 million in the float, and it was 76% short float volume on Friday's volume. Next on the potential long list is LPL. Now LPL, when we back it out to a yearly chart, you can see it does have these gaps to it. Why does it have these gaps? Because it's traded on another market. So many times you're going to see the gaps in between the opens because it might have traded there earlier in the day, they closed it closed up, so then they open up or down. And when we look back on the yearly chart, you can see not last earnings, but the earnings before, it came down and then it curled up and really gained almost 50%. So there's that possibility here. We have that same sort of setup that's created. Now, is it going to do the exact same thing? We don't know. But it does look like it has broken the 4, is about to cross over the 8. Could be in the upward motion to go ahead and continue upward. Potential longs for the week, potential shorts for the week, we have DELL. So DELL had earnings, dropped down, look at this, found prior support and prior resistance as well on that day. So looking for support of 57.21 to be broken to the downside, or resistance of 60.92 to the upside. And DELL does have 172 million in the float. Next on the potential short list is VMW. So VMW potential support of 176.99 and 180.46. When we pull it back on the yearly chart, you can see this is like many of the indexes overall. They hit a high, came down, hit a new high, and now they're pulling back. So VMware as well. And you can see again where the support was found was a prior support level before, and a prior support that flipped to be resistance. So keep those on watch. VMW does have 78 million in the float. Next is Nvidia. Nvidia has just been getting pummeled like many of the semiconductor stocks. They did just have their dividend, and look at this. It's back at a prior support / resistance area, so it could bounce up from here. If the markets overall bounce up, this might have a potential to go a little bit long for a retracement trade and then further downside if we do break 136.52 to the upside. Otherwise, I would look for support of 135.25 to the downside to be broken down to 131 and then potentially on down to 127 here. Next on the potential short list is Keys. So Keys, I would say support of 74.97 and resistance of 75.92. They did have earnings, bounced up, and then it looks like it's filling this gap back down to the downside. Found this support here. It might come all the way back down to 71.55, or it might get stuck here around the 74 and then 72.50 area. So just keep it on watch. They do have 1 billion in the float. And last on the potential short list is Goose. So Canadian Goose Jacket Company, which many times I find tends to be seasonal. So we're going into the summer season, and they just had the winter, but they just had the winter season, so they should be having stronger earnings, in my opinion, on this one. But I would look for a support of 33.14 and resistance. I wrote over here 33.87. I'm not sure why it's showing up, but 33.87 for resistance to be broken. They do have 58.87 million in the float. I'm not sure why the text is blurry. I'm sorry about that. Next on potential long list is NRZ. So NRZ did have this massive sell-off. It's showing oversold, and it might have a pullback up. I would look for it as the potential long to it. If you look at it on the yearly, we came down and we touched this support area as well. So potential to curl back up, as well as GILD. Not at this time, Bat Scientists. Okay, so here for Gilead Science. So this looks almost like a quadruple bottom here. So if we can hold this 62 range, it could potentially run back up to 65, up to that 50 simple moving average on the daily chart. So just keep this one on watch. It does tend to have that where it comes down here, bounces up to 67 range, down, up, then down, up, down, up. So it sort of oscillates between 62 and 67 fairly frequently. So it might have that trend happen again. However, anything is possible in the market. Next potential long is CMRE. So CMRE has been holding somewhat this trend line, right? So it was originally a trend line that was resistance, and then it became support, and we are right there as well. So if this one can hold this area this week, it might have nice potential upside to it. When we pull it back on the yearly chart, you can see it could go ahead and swing on up from here for a lower float stock, lower price stock to have that move up. And final one, SAH, for potential longer term swing. Same scenario. It's been holding this trend line, so we might come down and bounce this trend line. We did have the 50 cross above the 200 simple moving average, so it might be swinging more to the upside to come. Do you guys have any other questions that I can help you with? I'm sorry that I totally blew through this really quickly. This is about my 5th take of this video, and my little one just woke up, so I want to go take care of her. Otherwise, I would love to see you guys all in person at the Modern Trader Summit. If you are not able to be there in person, definitely sign up for the streaming. I put the whole summit together to help you as a trader. We're going to have crypto, we're going to have risk management, we're going to have trading mindset, trading commodities, trading futures, all sorts of different things to help traders, and it's definitely worth it. If you can't be there all day on Saturday to watch the streaming, definitely watch it on demand. It's going to be worth everything. All right, guys, have a great week ahead. I'll be in touch with you guys on Twitter. Bye.